Hey everyone, welcome back to BTM Scale Modeling. That's right, I am starting to get back up there. I've got my studio pretty well figured out. Still got a little cleaning to do, but let's get back to making videos. But so as you can see, this is going to be a unboxing and start of a pretty big build. Now, yes, I've still got my other kits that I'm doing, but to get back into making videos for you guys, I thought why not start with Andy's Hobby Headquarters 1/16 Tiger One. And man, she's big. I mean, big. I mean, heavy. Just a teaser. I mean, that's just the bottom. But, so yeah. And as I go through the videos, as I start doing more of the build videos, sorry, excuse me, I'm going to start showing you some of my new items that I picked up over the last few months while trying to get everything between my T.B.I. and all that, and getting my studio taken care of and redone. Got some new items to use. And you're going to see two of them in this video. Now, I show you how I'm going to use the sander you're going to see, but then I show you my new airbrush, and I'll just give you a little teaser. There we go. And man, I love this thing. And I show you on that, and then we go into getting the kit built. So, with that said, if you are new to my channel and you like what I'm doing, please click on the subscribe button and then click on the little bell every time I upload. And I'm going to be getting back to that, so more and more and more. So I promise. Should be at least a week of the video and then probably a couple other little ones. And thank you for all that have hung by me through the long absence. I apologize, but I thank you. It means a lot, and I really appreciate it. Also, I look at the comments. I like the thumbs up. I like, but hey, that's cool. But, okay, I would have done that way, but it works for you. And then the all, really, man, how long you been building? Why did you do it that way? I take those. I like those. Also, on my older videos, if you have questions about it, lighting, painting, whatever, email me at bucktimore@gmail.com. And that also goes with, if you're new to my channel, again, guys, if you're new to my channel, and you're starting to build, please go back a few videos over the years and see how I progressed. But if you want to build the 1/16 Tiger tank with me, by all means, we'll do that. That's what I'll be working on next. And then I've got some other great models. I've got the Tamiya Bismarck, the Tamiya Missouri. I have the Kane Alien Diorama. I've got a lot of kits I just got to build, but now things are getting a little easier to do. Things are getting better. So, with that, please enjoy the video, and I'll see you next time on the bench. Alright, welcome back to the bench. And I thought, what better way to get back into building with you guys is doing the Andy's Hobby Headquarters Tiger One 1/16 scale. So, as you can see, my camera's pretty high up, and I'm gonna have fun with that too. So, let's get to unboxing this. Well, now as you can tell, I've already washed the kit, and there's the instruction manual. This is just the treads. Look at that. And we'll keep going through. I'm not going to show you all the parts right now, but look. Let's see if I can, give me 1 second. Let me change this around so you can see. Well, no, actually. So, the box, from the bottom to the inside is about 12.5 inches. So, as you can see, there is a lot of styrene. But hey, that's the fun. So the treads, the wheels, oh, sorry, everything. I mean, let me move this down a little bit, and then I'll readjust the camera, and we'll go through these one at a time. But there's a lot of styrene. All right, let's get looking at these pieces. So this is for the tank treads. This is the rollers and all those little fun bits, and I'll share that in the instructions. And parts, I mean, just look at this. I mean, it's amazing. And I mean, I'll show you everything. So, just kind of unboxing, showing each piece there. These guys are all three, well, there's four, sorry. So I have four of these. This is for the treads and the tank wheels. Then, radiator, main spokes, all lots of great detail parts. I mean, look at this. It's amazing. And top of the turret. And let's keep digging in here, guys. Let's see what else we got. So, yep, again. And here's the cool thing. So here is for the main gun barrel with I'll find it here in a minute. But there's a metal barrel to this. So yeah, and then here is the sides of this lovely tank. And here's the front and other pieces. This is going to be one of those guns that's going to take a little bit. And again, the exhaust, air cooler, I think. Inside the gun area. And then here's the rest of the wheels. And like I said, you're going to see a lot of them. So here is the figure. And yes, I have his other leg. So we'll go there. And then, okay, here's the metal barrel. The top of the Tiger. The body of the Tiger. So yay. And the turret. The back of the Tiger, as you can see, yay. And then the rear. I mean, look at this detail on this. This is going to be fun. And the reason I'm doing this is a good friend and client of mine sent his, and trying to do things with it. I was trying to, because it was all glued, and I was trying to separate pieces so I could paint it better for him. And well, sometimes when using that epoxy glue thinner, try to get, that, not the epoxy glue, but what you do to get the CA, it'll melt plastic. So I decided to get another one. And, alright, so let's get some pieces put back. Oh, here's the decals, which are very beautiful. I'll take those out later. And then we have cable, we have photo etch, and we got the clear parts. And get the other guys up here. And let me get some of this stuff put back down in here so I can show you guys. So give me just a second. I'll repack the box and then we'll get going on the instructions. Okay, we're just going to go through the instructions really quick. Let me get stuff moved out of the way there. So, very detailed instructions. But it's beautiful. So here's paint schemes. So you have the winter markings on the eastern front, February 1944. You have 1943 eastern front, 43, 44, eastern front in Kursk, 43, July, Sicily, Key Largo, Sicily, July 43, and August of 43 eastern front, Panzer. And then it shows you a good part of all your pieces. Then it goes right into building. And the one thing I will say about the instructions is it doesn't tell you what to paint, how to paint it, where to paint it. This is what it gives you. So you're definitely going to have to use your imagination and do that. But and so yeah, it's gonna be fun. And like I said, again, it's just the pieces. I mean, it's very, very great, you know, make a, you know, and you can see, because you have to separate all the treads and then put them together, and it doesn't really show you that, does it? I'm kind of looking. Yeah, this is what you gotta take them apart, and then you gotta do that little stripping, and then you put them all. Now this kit, the wheels, the tread, everything is glued. From everything I'm seeing, so I'm gonna play around with it, see if I can make it move. I don't know. We'll see. Because the few videos I have seen, it's always been glued. But where to drill holes, how to set up, you know, everything. So there's going to be a lot of pre-building before we even get into paint. And so this is going to be in separate pieces at a time. So, but I mean, look at the detail it shows on the inside of the hatches. So I got to figure out how I can make those open. So I will be looking into that. I do not want to get those closed for my client. And then it just goes, you know, it does tell you, you can look, it does, you know, you got all three versions. So you got 1 through 6, and then just 4 and 5. So you can use J3 for all of them, or unless you just want to do 4 and 5, you got to use the other piece. So which one I'm going to be doing is, I think I'm going to try and do this one. So as you can see, I'll use just the one that's marked 1, and so you got to take a real close look at that, because it'll divide up each tiger that's in the front. And then just look at it. I mean, how to, you know, you got to run your cabling, and we will be sharing on that, guys. Trust me, because yes, that's where this big guy comes in. So yeah, fun. And then there's lots more little cabling, and you can see do not glue. So yeah, it's just a very in-depth build. So, yay! And we'll just kind of get through. You know, here's the figure. You guys are gonna spend so much time with. I'm gonna spend time on it because I'm gonna do a lot of pre-building, and you know, bring up the form a lot. So with that, I'm gonna show you some of the new items I have for the bench, and then we'll get into building. I'm going to show you what I'm going to be using during this build. So I'll be right back. Okay, let's look at some of the new items that I have in my studio now. My camera and lighting is a lot better, and I can adjust this camera so it can look forward, down, or I can bring it back to do a wider shot. But I want to show you some of the really cool things I have now that I just, you know, that I found that I needed. First off, I've got this rechargeable Rodex. This is a fan, as you can see. So, you know, it's really good just to do that, get that little dust out of the way. Love it. It definitely works. I've been practicing and playing and painting, and I've been using that to make sure before I paint it's all blowed off, all nice and clean. Now, the other thing that I was really happy to be able to pick up is my Harder Steinbeck Infinity CR Plus airbrush. Oh my god, this thing is amazing, guys. I love it. It is great. I mean, you know, I will show and play around, but I can lock it in like that, and I have no trigger. Then I can do that. Gonna have to oil ya a little bit. It does better with air, but I'll show you. But you know, I do that, and then I'll lock it in, and then you can see I can adjust my trigger travel, how much I come out, and all that. I'll have to get that lubed up. But this comes with every brush. And this shows you what's going to be able to go on. Let me bring it a little bit closer. I love this thing. So this is my airbrush dots, lines, shading. It's amazing. And what I really, really like is the nozzles. So I love this nozzle because now I can be more detailed because I can aim a point and that's where my paint's going to go. And so it's much more controlled. And then here in the lovely box, if I can get it open, I have a .44 needle and gasket or nozzle, littler tubs. I have another point tip. So let's see if I can show that to you guys. Yeah, I love it. It's gonna be fun. I've been playing around with it. I've been practicing, guys. So you know, when I do start using it for you guys, you'll see that I've been playing with it. I'm not trying to do it right all first time. And also, I've learned some lessons. And if you guys remember, I picked this up. And what this is, airbrush holder. Now, if you guys remember, I've always, you got, your blow your blow thing. And then usually you just set your airbrush in there and just let it sit. But what I learned is, while that was okay, what it would do is this inside would cake up with paint and damage the air gun, or the airbrush. So now, that's why I always I got an airbrush stand. Great, just like that, and good to go. And put that there. Then I found this. This is Solaris Chroma Dispel. This is a reciprocal sander, as you can see, and I will show you that. This thing is amazing, and my daughter 3D printed me these trays, which are awesome. So basically, that's as big as it is, but then you get different angle, you get different sanding head, pieces, widths. You have curved, you have pointed, you got corner, and points, and then you got the really little one that can go where you need it to. Now, what's great about this is, well, let me just show you. And so you do that. You got 3 speeds. First one, second one, and the third one. Now, this is really great, and let me see if I can do a little bit of something with it. So as you can see, I might have a little piece right there, but I will show you. And what it does is it makes the sanding so much easier, because if you guys remember, I had that nail sander, that nail shop nail sander, and I loved it. But I needed to get someone that was a little bit more controlled and wasn't eating up, the styrene. And I have a lot sandpapers, as you can see. So, and they go. I got from 180 to 1200 on sandpapering. So yay, fun, and I love it. It's great. So with that, guys, let me get things moved around, and we'll get going back on this. So I'll be right back. All right, let's get some snipping done here. Let's start getting some pieces together. So, got my snips, and love these things. Make sure you try to get it as close as you can. I don't know if you can see that, but always do the flat side of this, against the piece you're cutting out, and don't do it like that, or you're going to have let me show you here real quick. I'll get this guy done, and then I'll just cut this off. How about that? Okay, so when you're using these guys, let me zoom down a little bit. There we go. When you're using snips, or even an X-Acto knife, either the snips or the X-Acto knife, you want to have that blade as close to the piece as you can, flat. And with snips, it does really nice. So you take that flat edge, and I just line it up, and here we go. Let's see, sorry guys, learning my new camera mount system and all that fun jazz. So, yeah. So, again, like I said, just do the flat side. And here we go. So, I'm not going to make you watch me snip all the pieces, but we'll start putting them together here in a second. So, I will be back. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, got the pieces off, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to start by sanding these guys. Let's see if I can move it back a little bit. There we go. Sorry, still learning the camera, guys. And I don't think I want to do that. Okay. Easiest way to talk about it is after you snip off the sprue, what I do a lot of times before I get even gluing it, I want to take care of those little snips right there, as you can see, maybe with my right there, and that's where this little reciprocal sander comes in great, because I can focus on it and just that area where, like other sanding, you might have to go a little further, and this is I'm doing with an 800. Sorry, show you 800, and then I'll just, before I do it together, I try to sand off just a little bit. There we go. Get all the flash, so this will have a straighter, better fit, and I can worry about that as I go, but I want to get these little guys off. So that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm just sanding off the flash and taking down those places where I nabbed it. So, as you can see, all I do, and you see how, turn it on. If you see that, sorry, get back in the camera, you see that little white? This is what I'm talking about, flash. And it comes off very easy. Let's see. And as you can see, I can hear it. And then I'll take the pieces and put them together. And this is going to have a really nice seam. Alright, I'm going to zoom out, guys, sorry. There we go. This has a really nice seam, as you can see. And, but it is going to take some sanding, and I will go through that after, and I'll go through that process as well. But, I am going to, let's see, is there anything, one I can show you even better? Okay. Maybe this guy. Let me see what I got here. Let me see. Alright, there you go. Okay. I'm going to do you. I need. Alright, I think let's see here. Sorry guys, I'm looking for my big ones. Usually I have them together. I thought I did anyway. There we go. Sorry. Oh, I did have it together. Duh. Alright, so I'm going to get a bigger, and it's still 800, and I'm still using a rounded sander bit. So what it does, it gives me a little bit more control and allows me a little bit of guidance, you know. So let's see. See if you can see it. If you can't, I'm sorry. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I got another new tool too. Look at this. I can do this and not put my fingers in the way for you guys. So if you can see that little bit right there. Let's see. Let's try to see if I can zoom in so you can actually see it better. There we go. This piece right there. Now here is the bigger pad. And I'll go to 3. And I go and I just like that. And after I prime it, I'll be able to go back and see how much more sanding I need to do. But I like to try to get some of the bigger pieces off before I do that. So, just like that. Alright guys, well I'm going to get these sanded down, and then I'll turn the camera back on when I go to start gluing them together. And I will show you how I go about doing that. So, See you in a bit. Okay, we're going to start gluing pieces together, and I have CA and a toothpick, and I want to just, the reason I'm using the toothpick is I don't want to over gunk it, because sometimes I get a little crazy when I get my CA going on, and I just want to make sure that it's got a good. There we go, and then I'm going to put just a little onto this, because that's the bottom of it. And now we're going to put these two pieces together and try to make sure they're lined up and ready to go. I'm going to have to do a little bit of sanding, but that's fine. So then I'm going to take a piece of tape, and I'm going to wrap it just like that. And take another piece and do the same thing. Now I'm going to do one more leg, do the legs and the torsos, and go from there. But again, so like here's the the main body. So you got to kind of figure out what's going to be the easiest way to glue this, because there's things. So I'm going to use this guy right here to hold this. And take my toothpick and start the gluing process again. Sometimes it can take a little or a lot. And just turn it, and that way I can get glue where I need it and not get my fingers all stuck in it. Okay, that is now done. And good. Now make sure it's set together, and then again I'm going to take a piece of tape and just keep it tight. Just make sure it stays tight to itself, just like that. And there we go. There's another piece. So I know that's really fascinating to watch me glue these pieces together, but I'm going to save you that. So I'll come back when I got these guys ready to go, and I'll share that with you. So see you in a bit. Alright guys, well this is where I'm going to end it. These pieces are all glued. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to share with you when I come back, is I'm going to go ahead and get it all primered up so I can look for seam lines and and get them sanded down so they're all even. But that's only going to help if I use the primer. So yay! So getting there for sure. And then we got to learn how these guys go. Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch how to do this. So, sorry. So with that, you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great work week next week. And I'll see you back here on the bench. Bye for now.